Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals. Welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week I am planning the week of the 1st of July 2024 in my 7x9 slash A5 wide Tilly Journals insert using the February 2022, I believe, mystery from Plannerface called Create, with art by Milk and Berries. IDPR for Plannerface, so you can use Tilly to save 10%. It is not applicable on the mystery, but when the mysteries come back to the shop, and I believe this one is in the shop now, you can then pick them up with the discount if you want to. They come out a year after they have been in the mystery. I am also using underlays in my shop in a mix of sparkly red and I believe shattered glass orange. So I've got the daisy gaps and the concentric circles or something along those lines, and I am switching between them. I just felt like the colours worked. And then last but not least, I am using a Scribble Prints Co. hollow foil bundle, and I think it is a full bundle I'm using. You can just see me here trying to work out where my full boxes are going because there were 2 double boxes and my brain wouldn't brain, and I wanted to make sure that I got the underlays correctly so there weren't 2 of the same underlay next to each other, but I did mess it up and have to peel a little bit up, but we get there in the end. I think that's kind of everything to say about the base. I'm not really sure. I do get the 15mm add-on, though this was a mystery, so it came with a 15mm add-on anyway. Mysteries come with all add-ons. Also, Anna has done everybody a solid and made the kit half a page bigger with no extra cost and got rid of the glitter add-on, which is amazing because you now get glitter headers, enough glitter headers to do everything in, the full kit, and then you only need the back box add-on if you need the box add-on. So that is really, really positive. So yeah, that's exciting. What else have I got to say? I'm not really sure what else. I read 3 books this week, and the other thing in my sidebar is that we went to the Gastro Festival. Oh, sorry, I am clearly yawning ahead, but that's fine, which was a little festival in our town, which was cute. I was really struggling with my mood this week. Honestly, that doesn't stop for a little while. There's probably another 2 months of me whinging about my mood before that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So let me get into the books we read this week. And I'm going to start with the one that I gave the lowest rating, which was Eleanor and Park. So I gave this 3.5 stars. So this is a middle grade / YA romance about, shockingly enough, Eleanor and Park. Eleanor is new to the area and is very eccentric. They live in a similar housing estate and get the bus to school together. And on Eleanor's first day, she sits next to Park because he is the only person that makes any space for her, as everyone sort of has assigned, unofficial assigned seating on the bus. And slowly they develop a friendship and then a relationship. Is basically the premise of the story. It's fine. I don't know, I feel like it got marked down because I'm an adult reading a middle grade / adult young adult book, but it felt very juvenile, and I didn't really like the ending, and I felt like there was no real conclusion and it was just all a bit bleh. It took me quite a long time to get into it and to read it, which anything that puts me in a reading slump or a partial reading slump obviously gets knocked down half to a full star anyway, just because you don't want to be in a reading slump ever. So that's that. The next book is Summer at the Comfort Food Cafe, and I gave this 4 stars. I listened to this on audiobook. So this is, I can't remember the characters' names, unfortunately. I'm really bad with characters' names and I haven't looked them up before this video. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But essentially, a mum and her daughter go to the south coast of England to help over the summer at the Comfort Food Cafe. The mum doesn't have a job and needs some money basically, and they used to go on holidays with their fam. I believe the dad died before the book, and they used to go on a summer holiday every year, and the mum thought this was a great idea of how to get some money and also, spend a summer have a summer holiday. So she takes her teenage daughter, down with her to the place called the Comfort Food Cafe, which is a cafe centred very much on the people rather than like selling food or whatever. And the owner is very eccentric, and it's basically about their lives that summer and a budding relationship and what they want from their lives. It's a very nice, like, contemporary / kind of romance, just sort of, I hate the phrase women's fiction, but I haven't got a better one, but it's that sort of just everyday life sort of story, and I really like that sort of thing. I love just like everyday life stories that aren't like something incredible happening and stuff. I just, like real life stories. If you have a better phrase than contemporary fiction for those, will you let me know in the comments down below, because I don't know what it is. And then the final book is the one I gave the highest rating to, and this got 4.5 stars, and this is Nina Is Not Okay, and this is a hard read. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's a very hard read, but it is excellent. So this is about Nina, who is a teenager / like late teenager, and is essentially acting out and is drinking heavily, and she forgets what's happened on nights out and stuff, and it becomes that she's drinking more and more, and it's sort of about how she develops through that heavy drinking, and when about like drinking becoming a problem. It's a very heavy book. There's a lot about alcoholism in it, and slight spoiler, quite significant spoiler, there's some stuff about sexual assault and rehab for alcohol addiction in the book. And honestly, it's a hard read, but it's so worth reading and listening to. It's also very funny, which makes like the real topics a bit nicer to deal with. And I know that sounds like counterintuitive. How can a book about alcoholism and sexual assault be funny? But it really is. Don't get me wrong. You will laugh out loud at times, and yeah. As I said, feel a bit weird saying that you'll laugh out loud about such a serious book, but I think that's how the book deals with it, and it works really, really well in my opinion. So that is it for the books I read this week. So I'm going to get into the day by day. Obviously in the video I have just screwed up putting down read on Tuesday, so I'm just swapping those across. I didn't say at the beginning of this video, the reason I am using the Create Kit is because me and my mum are both quite crafty, and it was her birthday on the Tuesday of this week. To be honest, I didn't actually see that much of my mum on her birthday. We celebrated it the weekend before, but unfortunately she was not very well. She had a really bad ear infection and had to go to hospital multiple times to check on her ear, including on the Friday of this week. And I actually met her when she went on Friday. Weirdly, she was seeing the team that I am now working with, but wasn't working with at this point. So let's get into it. We have, on the Monday, I did some filming before having a planner call with Sophie. I suspect I was also filming during the planner call, but I don't actually know. I've not written that down or anything. Then I went for a bike ride. I was really trying in July to, be good with exercise and stuff. Sorry, yawning again. But I kind of fell off that wagon again, as I pretty much always do with exercise. I'm awful at sticking to exercise. I just don't enjoy it. Like, I quite enjoy bike rides because I like the wind through my hair and seeing the countryside and stuff, but I'm just awful for sticking to exercise because I don't really enjoy any of it. Then unfortunately my contact lens broke in my eye, which was horrible, and I had to go to the opticians because I couldn't get half of it out, and it was stuck in my eye, and then I'd scratched my eye trying to get it out. Well, no, the edge of the contact lens had scratched my eye. It was really, really rough and incredibly painful. I really wouldn't recommend. But luckily, I think, touch wood, that's the last time I had a contact lens rip. I don't think I've had one since that, maybe one, but yeah, it's certainly not many, and it's like that's like 2 months ago now, so yeah. I think maybe one actually since then, but that's it. Then I had CBT with Rory, who was my therapist. I've got one more session with him at the recording of this audio. Also, I just want to put in a little apology that there was no video on Friday. In short, I didn't realise I hadn't uploaded it until Saturday morning, and I was just like, I'll just move all the videos back one rather than like put it up on late on Saturday. So that's what I've done. I've had a big reorganise of my videos in general, and so from December you'll be getting one plan with me a week, and I will be about 2 months behind, but I think that's probably best for my life going forward. And Kiara is going to say hello and rubbing against the microphone, so in a hope that isn't too disruptive. Anyway, moving on. We then played Wingspan, which is a fantastic game. Really, really recommend it if you like board games, basically. You can play solo or you can play with people, so it's a really nice, very different every time you play game. It's good fun, and there's lots of expansions and things. Then it was time for Rangers. We were doing D&V, so I was helping girls with mapping, I believe, and then we watched some Once Upon a Time in the evening, which the recording of this video, which is the 7th of September, we have actually finished. Yay! It's taken us a little while, pretty much, and yeah. Then on to the Tuesday. The first thing I've marked that it was my mum's birthday, but I was at work. When I got home from work, I came home and wrapped some presents for her, because we haven't wrapped her presents. Went over to my parents and spent some time with my mum before guides. As I said, my mum wasn't very well, so she didn't come to guides, so I led guides that day, and I'm sorry, I'm hiccuping now, and I think I'm going to sneeze, in fact, so that's going to be fun. I was really struggling with my mood. I could have done with not going to guides, but obviously my mum was poorly, so I kind of had to be there. Then came home and watched some Once Upon a Time and did some planning in my off-camera planner, because yeah, it's good fun. Then on to Wednesday. This was a really, really bad brain day. I had to get up and go out the house first thing because I had an optician's appointment to check my eye was healing, because they were quite worried about it when they saw it on the Monday, but it looked good and was nearly completely healed, so that was excellent. I started wearing contacts on the Saturday, I think, after that again, but I was having such a bad brain day this week. I was having a really bad week generally, and I was basically got home and went back to bed, and then I had an appointment with my care coordinator and literally only got out of bed to speak to her. I was seriously considering at this point whether I should take a little bit of time off work, but I hadn't made a decision yet. Then I went out and did a bike ride to try and lift things, try and improve my mood. Didn't work, but I tried. And then did some reading and watched some Once Upon a Time. And that's kind of it for a really crap day, because all I really did was lie in bed and feel sorry for myself. On to Thursday, I slept really badly and I was having such bad dreams. It was horrendous. So there's that. Then I was at work, so I did that. Came home, went for a walk, and yeah, just to get my steps in. I was still trying to do my steps. Part of my July goal was to get my steps in as well as do some exercises. Then I did some reading. Who knows what I was reading at this point? Probably Eleanor and Park, because it felt like I was reading it forever. I had a complete and utter meltdown and lost my shit. I can't remember what over, but yeah, I was not in a good space, as I've repeatedly said this week. And then watched some Once Upon a Time, and again marked that I was in my feelings, because really this week was not a good brain week at all. It was bad, and I don't think it gets better for a couple of weeks still. In fact, the next week is pretty horrendous. So, yay! On to the Friday, I was at work again, and this is where I met my mum at work, because she came to see the ENT doctors to get her ear looked at, and luckily it was finally actually healing, so they didn't feel they needed to see her again. They were a bit worried that they were going to have to admit her for IV antibiotics, but she got away with not needing admission, which is good, because yeah, we're not big on having, you know, people having to be in hospital. We don't like that for anybody. Then I had therapy. I was having some therapy through Mind, but I didn't, you got 6 sessions, but I don't think I even did all of them because it was just getting to them after work was just a real challenge, and I just kind of had to give up, really. Then what else? After therapy I did some reading. I was reading Eleanor and Park, and then I was catching up a bit on my reading spreadsheet. I'm keeping a reading spreadsheet as well as the bits of reading journal that I'm doing in my main planner, so updated that basically. Then watched some Once Upon a Time, and while we were watching Once Upon a Time I played some Dreamlight Valley. To be honest, I just really haven't got into Dreamlight Valley. I don't know, it's just, I love Disney and I really want to get into it, but yeah, I'm not sure. There's that. On to Saturday, I was doing a little bit better this day, which was good, but I still had a lazy morning, like lying and just resting for the morning, before going out and doing a bike ride. I then headed to my dentist and discovered my dentist is retiring, which sucks because I love my dentist. She's a lovely human being, and yeah. What were my words? I can't remember what I was saying. She's lovely, and she's been my dentist my entire life, and like I trust her. And also, moving to a new dentist, even privately, is a pain. So we have dental insurance and we have a family plan at this dentist, and there's a dentist in my town that use the same insurers, but they won't let me move to them with the same insurance. I'd have to cancel my current insurance, go on like the basic plan, get a review, and then get charged again. And like, it's like, what? Why can't I just use my insurance to go to a different dentist? Why does this not make any sense? But my current dentist is like a 25-minute drive from my house. Like, you know, it's actually more like 35-40-minute drive from my house. And parking's a pain, and I just really like to not have to take like 2 hours to go to the dentist every time I go to the dentist. But yeah, my parents currently pay for the insurance and I don't really want to pay for it, but I also want dental insurance because I have really bad teeth. They just are very prone to needing work. Anyway, after that I went to the big Tesco's because I was in the town where the big Tesco's is, and I was like, oh, I'll go to big Tesco's, and I bought us food to have some afternoon tea, and so we had afternoon tea when we got home. This was the start of my little obsession with having afternoon tea. Lasted quite a while. Then I filmed a plan with me, got into bed and did some reading, and then had cuddles and some adult time with my hubby-band, which was lovely. And then we went to the Gastro Festival, which was like a food festival in my town. And we wanted to go on the Saturday evening because there was a Taylor Swift tribute, and I was like, yes, we'll go and see a Taylor Swift tribute. That will be so much fun. But basically half the stalls had already shut because it was evening by the time we went. And we weren't very like excited about the food there was. It was fine, but there was nothing like great. But it was fine. And then we stayed and listened to the Taylor Swift tribute, and she was terrible. Like, actually awful. Like, there were young kids singing behind us. Like, I'm talking under 5, that were better singers than she was. I was like, how have you got this gig? But it was still good fun. I love Taylor Swift, so yeah, there was that. Then came home and we played some Wingspan, which I've already talked about. It's a fantastic game. And then we watched some Once Upon a Time. On to Sunday, I was in my feelings, shock horror, who surprised nobody, not me. Was working on doing some laundry all day. I tend to do my laundry in big batches, so I just mark it once, but I was probably working on it literally all day. Played some Dreamlight Valley, and then made some stickers, probably scripts for my planner, or could potentially be underlays and stuff. They're the 2 things I kind of make. Then I filmed a plan with me, watched some TV. I feel like I wasn't watching Once Upon a Time, but I could have been. But anyway, had some TV time, sat and read some Eleanor and Park, and then watched some more Once Upon a Time. And that is it for the week. And I have timed that like quite beautifully. Like, I've just finished the spread. I don't really know how I managed that, but I did. I'm not rushing through my last day for once. So here are the leftovers of the kit. Because it's a mystery kit, I do have quite a lot left over, but that's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. And obviously I didn't use the bougie or anything, so lots and lots left. and here is the foil wiggle, and that is it for this video. Comment, like down below, do you like this kit? How do you feel about colour blocking? I'm obsessed. Thanks for watching. Bye!